and this is probably the 4th time that I've hit record now, because it's actually really fucking hard to do what I'm trying to do right now, which is just to be myself on video and show up as me, 30-year-old woman from the Sunshine Coast, Australia, and talk about life and my perspective on it. And I have done videos before. I'm no stranger to being on camera, but they have always been from the perspective of being externally referenced. What do other people want to see? What do other people need to see? And my intention for 2019 is just vulnerability and authenticity, and just showing up and talking quite frankly about things. I'm going to talk about the highs and I'm going to talk about the lows. At the moment, probably a bit more of a low point for me. I am cycling back to something that has come around many times in my life, which is just a feeling of being really, really lost and not being sure about what basically my purpose is. And this is something that I think I've put a lot of emphasis on for a big portion of my life, because I'm always searching for the reason and the why and the deeper meaning to life. And I put a lot of pressure on myself to find what my purpose is and to be sure that I'm fulfilling that. And if I'm not feeling like I'm fulfilling my purpose, I feel like I'm wasting time, and there's some shame around that. And I think it helps to speak about this because it's probably a really common thing. Like, my husband is someone who I can learn a lot from, because he has a bit of a different perspective on purpose and the way that he conducts his life that's really interesting to me and unusual, I think, as well. So when I talk to him about this, he just doesn't understand why I'm even thinking about my purpose and trying to set intentions and write down notes and trying to figure it out. For him, it's just so simple. He just does what feels good. He just does what he loves. He just does it. There's no resistance to doing it. It's just, I want to do that. I'm going to do it. And that's it. End of story. No deep soul searching required. And yet, without having to push and strive to become something, he still becomes it. But it's with more ease. He still achieves things. He probably achieves more and has more consistency in his actions than anyone I know. And yet he doesn't actually seem to break a sweat in that, because he's just in the flow of doing exactly what he wants to do and being himself, and it's no more complicated than that. So I was trying to figure out the difference between he and I, and why there's this layer of resistance, this difficulty in me breaking through to that simple world of just being, just doing what feels good. And I figured out is I'm a highly sensitive, empathic person, and my husband is not so much. It's this highly sensitive, empathic part of me that is always testing the waters and externally referencing the feedback from the world around me before I do anything. That kind of creates a lot of second guessing yourself, a lot of fear around what will be the consequence of me doing this. Will I be more loved? Will I be less loved? There's just this constant consideration of the wider world and how others are going to react. Even if I say to myself, like, I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks, it's like on a conscious level that might be true, but subconsciously on a deeper level, because I've spent my whole life being so sensitive to other people's feelings and other people's emotions and reactions to what I do, and really being in tune to that, that's a hard thing to switch off. And so it's not as simple for me to just do what I want to do. It could be, but it's just not at the moment. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing and that I should be like my husband. We're like two different people, and it's actually like a really good quality to be highly sensitive and to be an empath. And I'll do more videos on exactly what that means in the future, because it's a big topic and it's a topic really close to my heart. But for now, just with this point of trying to figure out who you are and your purpose, and if you feel like that's not easy for you, and it never has been easy for you, I'm right there with you on that. So maybe for some of us it's meant to come easy. That's not my husband's struggle. That's not his lesson to learn. But it is my struggle and it is my lesson to learn. And that's okay. I reflect on a session that I had with a healer who, you know, I was in this space then of like, I just don't know what my purpose is, you know, what's the point? And she was like, you don't have any other purpose but to be you. Like, it's as simple as that. That's enough. You are enough. I sense the truth in that, but it's just not landing for me right now. So I guess this running around in circles chasing my tail on like, who am I, what's my purpose, what am I meant to be doing, is a sign that I'm actually just not in touch and feeling and appreciating the wholeness of who I am by just being. I'm not fully believing that that's enough and then acting from that place. Cool, this has ended up like a coaching session for myself, like talking it out. This is good. Yeah, so obviously it's just a matter of me like accepting myself and not expecting myself to have this like grand purpose, or like maybe just being is grand enough. Problem is, we think too much. That's the problem. Just need to fucking chill out, you know? So let me know in the comments if this is something that you ruminate on and kind of struggle with and go around in circles with as well, because I'm hoping I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Like, come on, like the meaning of life, my purpose, like that's like, we're only human, right? If we ask that question. I was gonna say, let me know if you like this video, but in the spirit of me not caring what anyone thinks, I'm just gonna keep making them anyway. That's slightly awkward. Bye!